Hi everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Living Our American Dream. In case you haven't noticed, in this picture, you can see my breath inside the barn, inside the shop. It is November 30th today, right Marcus? Mm-hmm. November 30th, and temperature outside right now is about 27 degrees. Now I've been working on this barn, I keep calling it a barn renovation, but it's really finishing the project that I started quite a while ago. And if you recall, I posted a few videos on putting the steel liner panels up that you can see behind me, as well as the LED lights. Now it's time to get some heat in this place for the wintertime. So Marcus and I are going to take a video tonight and tomorrow putting up our radiant tube heater. We've had one of those tube heaters that you hang from the ceiling, and we're going to take some video and show you how to put one of these in. Okay, we're going to start by showing you some of the components that we have. First of all, let me back up over here. This is the burner assembly for this particular heater, and it's not very big. It's probably, I don't know, 14 or 15 inches long, and that motor on top actually is a combustion air blower. And then these tubes hook on here, and there's 5 sections of tube in this one, making it 50 feet long. And this one happens to be a 100,000 BTU output, BTUs per hour. And that is slightly undersized for this building, I think. However, we're gonna see how it works. And I don't need to keep it 80 in here. I just need to keep it, 40, 50, maybe 60. But there's the 5 tubes. And in addition to the 5 tubes, we've got all the hanger pieces. So that's an example of one of the hangers. We'll show you how these all go on as the video progresses. And there's adapters to get to the B-vent piping, and I've got some cap here and a thimble to go through the wall for the venting. Over here in this box I have the reflector shields, and I'll show you how all of this stuff goes together here in just a minute. But I want to show you all the components. Here's the rest of the tubes, and each one of these pieces here is how you connect the tube sections. And we'll show you that also. So Marcus and I are going to show you how much insulation we bought for this building. I want to put 12 to 14 inches of blown in insulation in the top of the building. And I had Marcus stand there next to it so you can see how big the stack is. There's 120 bundles of blown in insulation here, and there's actually some more over here, another pallet over there. But we're going to do that on another video. We want to go ahead and get this heater hung in case we need to get in the attic for anything. I don't think we will need to, but in case we need to get in the attic for anything, we don't want to have to work around all that insulation. So just wanted to show that, because that's coming up in a video pretty soon as well. So I'm going to take a minute here to tell you why I chose the heater that I chose. This is probably the only low clearance model of a tube heater that I could find. It is by Superior Radiant Products, and it is the LA 100,000, 50 feet long. And most of these tube heaters require a clearance from combustibles of like 80 some inches, 84 inches, which means you need a pretty good tall building to put one of these things in. However, we have a 12-foot sidewall on this building, which means this thing's going to be hanging up about 11 feet in the air. So the clearance to combustibles directly under this one is only like 32 inches or something like that, which means I can park vehicles in here and the canopy of my tractor, and I don't have to worry about anything melting or any of that stuff, because this thing dissipates the heat through the whole 50 feet, and it should not be an issue. What you have in front of you here is the layout of how this thing goes together. And since I've had it on the screen for a minute, I won't stay there. But you can look at that, pause that video, and take a peek at how that's all gonna work. Right now, Marcus and I are in the process of installing the hangers, and the hangers are going to go up just like that, and I'll show you how we're putting this together right now. Alright, here are the components that we're using. I went to the local home improvement store and I bought several items that we're going to use to hang these things. I bought a length of chain, and I don't need a tremendous long length of chain because I want this thing mounted high up to the ceiling. But I bought these lag style hooks to go into the bottom of the trusses. I bought these connector links to hook to that, then to the chain, then to one of these clevises that's going to go. I needed the wider gap right here to be able to get the hanger in there. So what that looks like, all put together, is just like this. Can you see that in the camera, Mark? So this is where the ceiling's going to be, and you'll have this hung down here. And I have adjustability. I can move this up to the next link if I have to get that tighter up to the ceiling, because I want it as high up to the ceiling as I can, because as this radiates heat down, it's going to radiate heat at an angle. And the higher up I get, the wider that angle is when it hits the floor. The shorter I am, or the lower, closer to the ground I am, the narrower that band is, and it won't heat the entire concrete pad. So we want to get it up as high as we can, and we'll have the best opportunity to do as much heating in this building as we can. All right, we're going to find between two screws that we put in. This should be right where that truss is at. And we're just going to follow this particular rib all the way down the ceiling from one end to another. That way we know we're straight. And we're going to go right in the middle of it here. Get our hole pre-drilled. We'll take our hanger assembly. Get that started by hand. And then we've got a large screwdriver. We're just gonna drive this thing right in where it needs to be. Go ahead and pause, Mark. So we're gonna get this thing tightened up here. And in order to get the hanger to hang in the right spot, we're going to have it be this way to the building, so that the hanger can sit in here in the right direction. We're just going to slide this thing in here, put our bottom part of our clamp back in here. That should hang right there, lined up with the other one, and ready to go. So we're going to get the other 4 of these put in, and the next segment we'll show you putting the first tube up. Okay, so we're ready. We have all of our hangers put up. Now we're going to put the first section of tube up. This is the flanged section of tube that hooks to the burner. So the first thing the instructions say is there's a welded seam here. Michael, see if you can zoom in down here just a little bit. You can see where this tube is welded, and the seam weld right here has to face down. There's a shield on the other side of this tube that has to shape like this. It has to kind of have the open side being down, and that welded seam has to be down. Next thing is, before we put this up there, we're going to put this coupling on. This is how we're going to get the other piece. So when we hang this, the other piece will slide right into here, and so on. So that's how we'll put these together. You might have to grab onto that tube thing and spread it apart with your hands. Slide it over. Keep working it forward. And push it forward at the same time.
You're going to get on the ladder and hang that one as we get to the end of it. Oops, I got jogged over here. Hang on.
Yeah, you need the bolt of the clevis to be down. Is that what that's called? Is it clevis?
Yep. I think so.
So now.
screws up right inside.
Oh wait a minute, I didn't put a baffle in my end
I
yet.
have one of those fingers.
Just take your own, do it.
Right.
I can't use this in there, I don't know. Shit.
Why are you recording?
This heater right here. Put some screws on it. That's what that is. Yeah, I got 3 pallets of them. Yeah. How many individual things are there?
120.
Already 20.
So they make a machine, Hunter, right here. They make a machine that, this is all loose stuff in here.
Yeah.
Crumbly.
My papa.
All right, so we've got the tubes hung, the hangers up, and the tubes all in, all the way to the other end of the building over here. So the first 2 lengths are a little bit different metal. They're more protective against the flame. And the last 3 sections all have a baffle in them to dissipate the heat a little bit better. And now I'm gonna hand the camera to Mark up there, and we're gonna put a little cap, or I guess an adapter on the end here for our vent. So this is what these baffle pieces look like. They're about 4 feet long. I don't know, maybe 3 feet long. But you just stick them in the end of here, and you bend the tab over, and it just kind of holds it in place there and keeps it from moving. And on the rest of them, the next coupling for the next tube slides over to hold it. On this particular one, we're just gonna put this adapter over here.
Seam on the bottom with that too, I would imagine.
Yep. Something like this. And we'll throw a clamp on here, which they provided for us. I should have grabbed my drill to do this. But anyway, we're gonna tighten this up, and then we'll be ready to attach a vent to this at the end.